Hey, Bob the Spider Hunter here. I'm down in Jacksonville, Florida, visiting with my son and his wife and my grandkids, and thought I'd do a little spider hunting while I'm here. So I'm in these wooded areas that lead off into a bayou, and tell you what, it is a hot day out here. Whew, and muggy. Hi, you might be asking yourself, why would Bob the Spider Hunter be dealing with crabs or have a teaching time about crabs? Well, you got to realize that under the whole umbrella of what we call arthropods exist both spiders and crustaceans and a host of other animals. The spiders are designated with a definition that includes eight-legged. So interesting as it sounds, all spiders are arachnids, but not all arachnids are spiders. That'll come up some other time, but not for today. Anyway, in the arthropod side of things, we have the crustaceans, and the word itself, or the term for crustacean, comes from not only Latin, but there's also some other backgrounds for the name. Crustacean means crust, or animal of the crust, or it also means the shell of an animal. So true crustaceans or true crabs have a hard shell or a crusty shell. And I say that because there are many people who go to their pet shops today to buy as a pet hermit crab. A hermit crab, of course, is a crab that sticks its little pink body inside the shell of a discarded shellfish. And the hermit crab is actually not a true crab at all. Just like in some sense in the spider realm, the tarantula is really not a true spider at all either, according to the definition, of course. But in the sense of the hermit crab, it has to go find itself a shell to stick its flexible, fleshly body into for protection as it wanders around. And as the animal grows, the shell gets too small, and it's got to pull itself out of it and go find a little larger shell that somebody else has discarded. Anyway, today we're going to focus just a little bit in on the fiddler crab. The fiddler crab has some 160 different species. Fascinating little crab, and it likes to move from side to side like most crabs do. And that's why in the spider world there's a crab spider, and that spider has the ability to move sideways just like a crab does and holds its front two legs out in the crab position as it walks around sometimes. So thus the name crab spider. Well, in the fiddler's crab arena, I want to just tell you a little bit about this particular video section that you're going to be viewing. I find it most amusing. I spent a good period of time in some brackish or water, muddy areas. Brackish just means it's a mixture of fresh water and salt water, and that's what crabs like. That's what they best thrive in. And I don't mention this particular observation, but you will probably see if you look carefully around these crabs in the mud, the sandy mud that they're living in, you might see some little round pebbles, little tiny, like BB size pieces of mud or sand. The little pebbles they make are when they sift the sand or mud or dirt particles through their mouth, they filter out those things that are edible, and then they spit out the little sand pebble or sand ball, and you can see those scattered all around their entrances to their homes, their houses, their burrows. They burrow down into the ground, and they can stay underwater in those burrows when the tide comes in, and then they like to come out and feed on whatever the tide left behind. They eat things such as algae. They eat things as other dead or living material that's available. And they may even eat each other if the opportunity is present. One distinguishing feature on the male is that he has one large claw, or what's called a pincer, and one small pincer or claw. The smaller claw is used to eat with. The larger one is used for defense and to attract a female. In the right time of the year, the males will actually wave their big claw up in the air in hopes that it might flag down a female who's looking for the biggest, brightest, and most glamorous claw that's being waved. She'll say, oh, that's the guy I want to go meet. Anyway, so the female only has two small pincers, or two small claws, and she uses both of them for feeding. Now, in this next clip, which I find quite amusing, you're going to see two males. One larger with a larger claw and one slightly smaller with a smaller claw. Here's my take on what has happened here. There is a stranger in the neighborhood. That would be the fiddler crab with the larger claw. And he found an empty hole. And he decided, well, I'm going to take this over from my place. However, the younger male, or the smaller male as it is, shows up. Now, he may have been off chasing after a female. They do that from time to time. And he comes back and finds, oh, I have an intruder trying to take over my house. That doesn't go over very well. So they engage in a discussion, crab-like, that is. They don't really want to get into a really big battle, so they try to settle it in some peaceful suggestions to each other to see who's willing to give in, because the rightful owner is the crab who has returned to his home, and the other guy knows that. So let's see how this all goes down in crab-like manner. The smaller owner of the home and the larger intruder, if you will, they get into an arm wrestling situation. And just like in arm wrestling situations I've been involved in or seen others play, there's this, before they start, there's this getting the elbow just the right place and trying to get the best grip in the hand, or in this case, the crab's claw, trying to get the best grip possible before they get the go sign. And then you hear the signal, go! And it's slam dunk. The smaller crab wins. He manages to get his claw in a position that's close to a very tender spot of the larger claw on the other male. and he puts a good squeeze on that claw. It must hurt pretty good. And then as he gets a good grip and the other crab is shocked, he flips and throws the big guy out of the hole. And he quickly reclaims his home and says, "Match over." This next shot's kind of interesting as well. Made me laugh when I watched it. But this female, I was watching her and filming her, and believe it or not, the female sometimes goes on the prowl for the male versus usually the male going on the prowl for the female. And in this situation, she's going from hole to hole, seeing what is an available male for her to be a potential boyfriend. And she is not having so much luck. She goes to one hole and it's empty. She goes to another one, it's already there's somebody in there, and she's not welcome there. And she keeps moving from hole to hole. And finally, in this process of me filming her from above, she spotted me, and of course, then it was all eyes on me as she turns around and keeps me in her line of sight and focus as she tries to make her escape into a hiding place. Whew, it is just dog hot out here. Feels like I'm in a Amazon jungle. That's how bad the humidity is. And the heat's not any better. I won't last long out here, that's for sure. I'm not even sure spiders would like it out here. Ah, a little bit of shade. Now this is bearable. Out in the sun, too much. All right, I'm gonna continue on, see what I can find out here in this unbelievable heat and humidity. I'm ready to go get a drink of water. Well, that's about it for me. Can't take the heat. And there's not many spiders out either. See, they're smarter than I am. They'll come out when the sun goes down and it gets a little cooler. Till then, I want to make my way back to the car. Try to stay cool till I get some H2O. Whew! This web goes all the way up there, way over to that tree there. And then the spider who makes this kind of web with this dot dash kind of webbing, kind of see it a little bit there. One there, one there, one there, one there. This is the girl up here who does that. And this spider is known as the spiny back spider. Right in the center of the white part of the frame that I'm filming. You can see those spines a little bit. I'll have to get a light or a flashlight to show you the beautiful coloration on this one. I think colors on this one are red and white, but I can't tell by looking at my camera screen, so see if we can get a little closer a little bit later. This girl has detected my presence and will probably shake or vibrate a little bit to spook me away.